too. Knows about the grind, bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again.
It's a Monday afternoon, west side of Edmonton, here from the Global HQ Edmonton Sports Talk. This is EST Afternoons, and Edmonton Sports Talk is presented, as always, by Play Alberta. I'm Zachary Kubusch. In place of Hernan Salas, who had the duties on the morning show earlier today, Joaquin Gage. Right beside me at the big desk, Benny Thompson, who's residing at the EST offices, putting in a 7-day, 24-hour times 7 split shift here in the offices.
Damn right I am.
On an amazing Monday afternoon, but you were on the hangout earlier today. Lots to discuss from the weekend. CFL Week 6 wrapping up. UFC 329, a bit of a McGregor dud in the octagon, his first fight in about 5 years. Stinger is on a 3-game losing streak. The Seahawks plan to be sold for almost $10 billion USD. And of course, here in oil country, the Oilers extending Colton Dach to a 2-year deal, $1.2 million AAV. He'll be joining the Reed Wilkins show at 3:05. Reed Wilkins and Jay Milne will also be talking some Elks, getting a member of the Double E later on in the program. And here today on the fine program, EST Afternoons 2:20, we'll be connecting with JC Abbott from 3 Down Nation to get his thoughts on all things CFL. He'll talk some Elks and some quarterback discussion potentially out east. The 0-5 Red Blacks losing to Edmonton last week, and the Ticats getting rolled by the Rough Riders. A big second half for Saskatchewan on a hot day. Dustin Nielsen was on the call for that. He was... Of course, this flagship show here on Edmonton Sports Talk, 6 to 9, the Nielsen Show. We're live 12 hours every single weekday, Monday through Friday. You can get in touch at the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Or if you're catching us on YouTube on Edmonton Sports Talk, you can get into the YouTube chat, which is what we call the Nasty Chat. We appreciate your viewership, listenership, either live on iHeart or Tune In Radio or on podcast there as well. Opening segment here. And as always on Mondays, we like to recap our weekends. Boys, it was a wild one. Friday was the flash floods. There was lots of sports action ongoing. The weather turned out to turn around a little bit. Joaquin, what did you get up to this weekend?
Well... Good to see you guys.
Nice to see you as well.
Benny, good to see you, and you look like you're right at home here. What did I do? So Friday got some stuff done because it was just me and my boy. I was getting ready. He turns 21 on Saturday. So he went out and got some new clothing for his night out. Didn't really want to spend his birthday with his dad, rather with his friends, which I get it. I cleaned up a little bit more of the backyard. The one thing that really made me angry, though, this weekend was I started watching the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So I watched the first bit and I didn't finish it, and then the next night I was like, I'll finish this off. I didn't know it was like a continuation. So sorry if anyone hasn't seen it yet, but there's a massive cliffhanger at the end of it. So I was like watching this thing going, wow, this is a long movie. But then it ended. And then I was like really upset. Are they making another one?
So you watch both of them. You watch Into and Across?
Oh yeah, I watched the first one when it came out, but the second one, right?
Yeah, there is a third one.
Well, they're better
planning to be coming out because those are two amazing films. I just got into those like in the last month. I watched both of them, and now it's given me the itch for a bit of Spider-Man. Reed Wilkins, he got a PS5 now, and he was talking to me about the video game. Even like Spider-Man's a cool superhero, man, and the Spider-Verse that they have, the way they do it, like it's all their animation, like the score, the sound in the movie too. Like I was enthralled the entire time watching that, but it leaves you wanting more because you just want that third movie immediately, right?
Yeah,
and we're living in the day and age where it's like, hey, why can't we get this? Why can't we have it?
It was 2023 when it came out. I think it's been 3 years. So
yeah, Into the Spider-Verse was 2018. Like it takes a few years for each of those movies to.
Yeah, you got to get ahead of the curve. Like
I know, get them out faster, man, because it was a 5-year gap between the first two movies. So maybe we'll see one in. I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but 27 or 28, I'm sure. And then the new. I always forget. It's Tom Holland as Spider-Man currently in the live action. He's coming out with the new movie later.
End of the month.
At the end of the month too. I got to get caught up on those because this is at the 3rd or 4th edition for him.
This is 4th.
Like, it's number 4 for him? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I got a lot of movie watching to do on my
there's
weekends.
a lot of movies in between that too, right?
Oh, right.
But it's just the Infinity Saga, Endgame, and then he's got the No Way Home. And then he's got the other one.
Found a Home.
Yeah.
I don't know what Go Home or whatever they call it. I don't know all the titles for them. It's something to do with home, but we are at home here. Edmonton Sports Talk, as I said, presented by Play Alberta. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. If you gamble, use your game sense. And we had a pretty big bet that we made on Friday. That was a plus 1410 hit or miss, excuse me. Over 5.5 rounds decision for Max Holloway and Conor McGregor. That ended in 109. MMA is a weird sport, man. Injuries do happen. It's a part of the game, part of the fight. And Messi anytime goal scorer against Switzerland. He did not score, but Argentina did move on in the Riders. 8.5 on the spread. Joaquin, you picked that one, and they beat the Ticats.
So I'm the only one that hit
most literally
on
2 pulps. So usually you're the one who drives it. You're always trusted as the anchor, as a pillar. And screw it, let's do it parlay. We'll have one coming up at about 2:40 there as well. The second segment we'll get to some Oilers discussion with Colton Dach being extended, as I mentioned. But of course, the World Cup semis wrapped up, or are on tap. The round of 8 wrapped up. It was England on Saturday after extra time, beating Norway 2-1. Argentina got past Switzerland 3-1, and France and Spain tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm sure we'll have a great watch along here on EST Afternoons for that. And same goes on Wednesday. It's England and Argentina hitting the pitch. Just 4 matches left. So Saturday on the 18th, 3 o'clock, it'll be the playoff for 3rd place, and the final goes Sunday the 19th at 1 from New York, New Jersey Stadium, which is quite. It's not a real place.
Where's the final being held? Do you know?
Yeah. Well, New York, New Jersey, but it says in brackets New Jersey. So which actual stadium is that? I forget.
It's the MetLife.
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 Yeah.
Or is it something else? It's it's where the Jets and the Giants play.
Yeah.
Right.
Which the turf that takes ACLs, like they're.
It's turf?
The turf toe. Yeah.
It's turf there during the football season
in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
So is that MetLife?
Yeah. It's the same place.
It is MetLife.
It's turf there. It's snatched a couple of ACLs.
I don't know why the NFL. Like, you look at all these football stadiums in Europe. Like the one in Dusseldorf, I know, and Schalke. It has the it's all automated, so it takes the whole turf underneath and can put it outside, so it gets sun, right?
Nice.
And it's actual grass. If you watch the things on how it does it, it's absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
Some of these stadiums are so phenomenal, the way and the technology. Like, you look at, I don't know, there's like, the Sphere is amazing to me, how it's just lights. The way technology in sports is starting to advance, and all of these venues have such sophisticated modes of really allowing their playing field or the ice or whatever to be at the top-notch shape. Like, it's pretty phenomenal. And I guess that comes to mind with the flash floods around Edmonton, like on the west side. On Friday, I was driving through it big time. So after wrapping up the Reed Wilkins show, did a little bit extra work, but going back on the white mud, like it was just battering weather. Storm warnings, a bit of tornado warnings there as well. And at Commonwealth Stadium, there's a video that Double E alum, friend of EST, Jed Roberts, posted that it was there, and it was like just backing up, which is big time. The Elks are also day one, week 7 for them. They practice at Commonwealth, and they also did make a signing. The Elks did earlier today. American defensive lineman from St. Charles, Illinois, Carmine Bastone to the practice roster. So a bit of an update on that one. But yes, you can always get in touch. People are already getting in touch in the Nasty Chat. Casino Dealer Jay saying, what's up? What song can Koob sing? Rip City Step is asking me. I can't sing very well. I'm like a big margarita guy when it comes to, or tequila. Sorry, not margarita. Yeah, I was thinking the which alcoholic song was that? But tequila, where it has the one song, you sing that at karaoke. Like I don't have a voice. I mean, I might sing in the shower. You know, you get a bit of the reverberation. But Jasmine also checking in, asking if my jersey is from a thrift shop. For those on YouTube, I'm wearing a Scarface like basketball jersey. So it has Tony Montana right on the center. It's quite the look. And no, it wasn't thrifted. Brand new. So got to wear my good clothes today, okay?
You should go back to the thrift shop.
This isn't the look, Gager? No, you're wearing a Hawaii shirt.
Yeah, but I mean, that you would think that was from a thrift shop.
Yeah, the way it looks. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, man.
Where do you buy something like that, Koob?
I'm trying to remember the name of the store. It's at West Edmonton Mall. I went there yesterday.
That guy down in the corner with a bag?
Yeah, the guy down. Yeah, he had a backpack. He had a few though. He looked pretty shady. No,
Blue Notes West 49.
Something like that. No, it's
what
in
floor
between.
Is it on?
It's on the bottom floor by the
no.
Santa Maria. It's right in the main artery.
Oh, it's one of
kind
those
of in the corner of the food
weird
court.
stores with bad stuff in it.
Yeah, the weird store with bad stuff, all 50% off. No, but found a couple things there. It's called Urban Select is the one. I'm going back there, okay? I don't care. There was a Tupac one I almost bought too.
Oh, wow.
You got to get different looks, Benny. I like the discounts, but no discount going for walking.
There's a few stadiums that have in Las Vegas, they can take the the pitch out. Schalke, like I said, and Gesellskirchen, Germany. State Farm Stadium in Arizona, it does it too.
Really?
There's a dome in the Netherlands, Geldre Dome, and then Sapporo Dome in Japan. Yeah, of course they have one. Allegiant Stadium. Oh yeah, it's Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, right? Yeah, that's cool. If you look at pictures, it just pulls it right on out there,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
I mean, that makes me wonder, like, I don't know, here at Commonwealth, we have such an older stadium, and you see some of the other CFL ones. Well, I guess Mosaic in Saskatchewan is just beautiful.
It looks
right?
great.
So
The only thing I don't like about Mosaic is the other lines for like, I wish it was just straight football for football. And then if it was doing something else, then you put the other lines on there. I guess, whatever. It would always mess with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
doubt.
saying?
yeah,
But that looked great. I mean, that was 37 degrees. Dusty showing the cook and the egg outside. But man, what a stadium.
Yeah, it's no yoke, as they said on the broadcast. Yeah. A bit of Gene Principe it made me think of there. Yeah, that was the first thing I saw when I turned on the TV and sat down was the egg cooking coming into the second half. But to talk more about the CFL, yes, JC Abbott at 2:20 here on EST Afternoon. He is from 3 Down Nation. Now I'm curious, guys, with the McGregor fight, that was my headliner, the biggest thing that I consumed on the weekend. Now, did you guys catch any of the fight or any of the post-game or post-fight interviews or any people on Twitter or social media kind of talking about McGregor? Because he turns 38 tomorrow. He's set to undergo surgery after his 1 minute, 9-second exit against Max Holloway in the main event of UFC 329. He injured his knee like 3 seconds into the bout. He went for a flying kick, and buckled his knee. Apparently no injuries heading into the fight. Came out and like he was devastated afterwards. He was practicing it the entire time. In warm-up, they sent out a video on the UFC social media channels, and he was practicing that kick for quite some time. So I think he had that planned entering the fight, and then you see the reaction and the outcome of it. What did you guys take away from either just the headlines you saw or catching the fight?
Well, I was hesitant to go out and watch it. Because I was by myself, and I thought I was, and then I said, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit at home. I don't want to pay for this thing, and it turned out to be a good decision because I would have just gone out for the McGregor fight and probably missed the whole thing. But I like Paddy the Baddy.
Yeah.
I saw some clips of his fight, but by all accounts, it was an okay night for the UFC. But it led up to, it was anticlimactic with McGregor going out like that. Now, I mean, we were talking before, like, what happens next with this guy? Like, I mean, I think it's going to be very difficult, his next pay-per-view. Like, I don't think you're going to get tons of people buying it. I mean, who does he fight next? Logan Paul or
there's so many options for him because he has one fight left under his UFC contract. And now that was the second time Max Holloway and him have fought. The first time they actually fought in 2014, they were both just really early in their career, both featherweights, like 3 weight classes lighter. And now we'll have to see his recovery, the knee surgery. Max Holloway wanted a rematch, but it's going to be interesting to see the way that the UFC goes. He's 34. Okay. So he says he has a few fights left in him. Listen to his post-fight interview. He was super excited. He got the most money he's ever got fighting in the UFC because, of course, McGregor, he's going to bring money. He's Money McGregor, right? So still got the full payday, but I guess being a fighter, you still want to prove yourself. He wants to prove himself to himself, but fighters don't want to see a fight end that way. Even if you're the victor, you want to move up the ranks because it's just stagnant the way that wrapped up. But yeah, one fight left. He might have to fight next year. Paramount Plus is going to be a big thing. It's coming to Canada as well. So in the States, they have pay-per-view on Paramount Plus. So UFC is going to come here as well on Paramount Plus app. So I'm not sure if it'd be a full pay-per-view, but it'd be a tough sell because 5 years off, you're injured in your last fight in 2021 against Dustin Poirier. Step back on his ankle, and then now his ACL. So
this
maybe
guy needs to drink some milk.
Yeah, it might be too far gone for one McGregor, but he got the mohawk and everything like that. Like he came out flying, but quite the presentation and lots of bark, but wasn't able to get the bite here. It's 1:19 here on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary, Kubusch, Joaquin Gage, Ben Thompson here on Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Your thoughts of things over the weekend, CFL, UFC, World Cup with the Final Four set. Please get in touch. The River Cree Resort and Casino. Tap 25 restaurant, 50% off the entire menu available 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. You can get at us at social media as well on X. We're at Yeg Sports Talk, at Zach on air, ZACH, and Ben Thompson _17, I believe it is, for your X account. And Joaquin, do you have any socials you want the fans to follow, or do you just want them to?
They already follow me.
They already follow you. Yeah, you're the biggest name around. That's why I didn't even put it on the sheet, bro. But at Edmonton Sports Talk on Instagram. We're on TikTok and Facebook as well. Tons of great clips from any shows missed. And if you can't catch our full shows live, catch them Spotify or Apple. And we also broadcast Edmonton Riverhawks and Stingers games. It is the All-Star Festival in the West Coast League as well. It's also the MLB All-Star Break 2. Home run derby tonight at 6. So maybe during the Screw Let's Do It parlay, we can get to that. Stingers next in action on Thursday. You can check out on our audio players a full schedule at edmontonsportstalk.com. So many ways, almost too many ways to get in touch. But with that, we'll dip to break here on EST Afternoons. Be back, but first, a Ben Thompson sports update leading us into to our first ad break of the show.
The Edmonton Oilers lock up Colton Dach to a 2-year deal worth $1.2 million AAV. Dach is in 8 games for the Oilers last year, put up 4 points while also playing in 5 playoff games. He'll be joining the Reed Wilkins Show with Jamie Allen later today at 3:05. Some other cleanup around the league as the Buffalo Sabres put pen to paper with Peyton Krebs, inking him to a 4-year deal at $4.5 million AAV. And in Winnipeg, the Jets signed their 8th overall pick, Vigio Bork, to an ELC. Checking in with the UFC 329, it's announced that Conor McGregor will undergo surgery after his round 1 loss to Max Holloway. McGregor plans to return to fighting in the future. And for action in sports world tonight, the MLB is hosting their home run derby in Philadelphia. Kyle Schwarber will lead off tonight. The All-Star game will take place tomorrow. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood the Duke. Locally owned and operated since 1993, they're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood the Duke, the experts you need to know. Second segment of EST Afternoons coming up after the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Justin Rankin, man. I mean, just unbelievable. He has to be in the MOP conversation.
I would argue that right now he's the front runner just based on what he's doing from being on pace for 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving. Now he has to keep it up, and he's going to have an otherworldly season.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Kickoff is coming. Are you in? July 17th, Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Plus, find activities for your dog around the stadium. Every catch, every tackle, every touchdown. The best way to experience it is being there when it happens. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year. Get your tickets now at goelks.com/tickets.
Sentinel Storage congratulates Canada Soccer's men's national team for breaking new records, making history, and showing us Canada is a soccer nation. From local fields to the world stage, our athletes make us proud to call Canada home. Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of Canada Soccer.
Get ready for another iconic evening of Canadian rock as the River Cree Resort and Casino presents Streetheart and Lee Aaron. On July 30th, get ready for a fist-pumping, anthem-filled show featuring 2 of the best acts to ever do it. Streetheart and Lee Aaron, July 30th at River Cree Resort and Casino. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
Somewhere, someone is sitting on a patio that is literally part of the parking lot. They're hot, uncomfortable, and bored. Do not be that person. The Canadian Brewhouse has a rooftop, real turf, misters, fire tables, patio games, big screens, and 0 reason to be bored. This summer, your standards are higher than a parking lot, and you know it. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
.125, it's EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary, Kubusch, Joaquin Gage as the co-host today. Ben Thompson in the producer chair. Usually Hernan Salas is in the hosting role. Today I'm in place of him. He had the duties on the Nielsen Show, which is live 6 to 9 on Edmonton Sports Talk. We're live 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Tons of sports discussion, and we'll get into some Oilers talk in just a moment. Colton Dach, the big story of the weekend in oil country, signing a 2-year deal, $1.2 million AAV. He'll be joining the Reed Wilkins Show at 3:05 today, so stay tuned for that. And upcoming here on EST Afternoons, some CFL discussion at 2:20 with JC Abbott from 3 Down Nation, the Elks defeating the Red Blacks, giving them an 0-5 record. Elks improving to 4-1 following a 40-17 victory. They will rematch and look to avenge their Week 5 loss against BC on Friday. The dog days of summer down at Commonwealth Stadium. The weather looks to be quite decent for that one. But as always, Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta, 780-218-9999. Ways to get in touch into the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Also on the YouTube chat. Lots of people discussing McGregor's early exit. A terrible way to possibly end a career. And lots of chirps about my Scarface sweater. I enjoy most of what you're rocking, Gager, but it's a good day to rock a Hawaiian shirt with Max Holloway being the victor in UFC 329. But enough MMA talk. I love, like, anytime I get the chance to even nibble at a bit of MMA on the EST airwaves, I just feel fulfilled. But you know what keeps the gears moving is hockey right here in the heart of oil country. Of course, the Edmonton Oilers will always be the biggest story. If you hear somebody ate a donair for the first time, it'll make the headlines here in the city, which is a great thing. Very loyal fan base, loyal to the oil and all that great stuff. People love the orange and blue, and tons of NHL news here today. Not only the Oilers signing Colton Dach, the 23-year-old St. Albert native who was picked up at last year's trade deadline, 6'4", 218, skated in 61 games. Total 5 goals, 8 assists, 52 penalty minutes. Made his debut in Edmonton March 6th and saw 8 games, had 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 total points to end the regular season. Drafted 62nd overall by the Blackhawks in the 2021 NHL draft. Had an average 827 ice time with 23 hits, 3 block shots, and the left-handed forward piled up 219 hits last season, which ranked in the top 15 league-wide, despite playing the fewest games among players in that range. So a bottom 6 forward, an aggressor, an agitator, somebody who will get in the dirty areas, play physical, and he re-ups for 2 years in oil country. Boys, what are your initial thoughts on that extension for the Oilers, inking Colton Dach to a $1.2 million deal?
I think it's good. He provides something that you can't say that the Edmonton Oilers have had over the past few years, a consistent guy that plays that physical brand of hockey. Now, looking at his ice time, you had just mentioned there, Koob, that it's 8 minutes. But from what I remember, like that when he was within those 8 minutes that he played in, I noticed him a lot. Probably because of the way that he played, and there weren't a lot of guys that did that. And I think you need some of those dogs that get in there and rough things up. I think that it was tough to see him go down because it didn't look like a terrible hit.
No,
when he did it, right?
Something,
and he tweaked it, and then he was
pretty sure it's the same thing he was dealing with all year in Chicago.
Was it? Okay,
that's what was reported.
Maybe this is good that he had so much time off and stuff. Yeah. But here's a guy that I think most coaches really like to have. Just one of those energy type guys. If things aren't going well, and you throw those guys out, they get the puck in, get the fans going, or just even, at the start of the game, hopefully you get into a spot. I can't remember a time where Nobla started the fourth line, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he could, with him, I don't know who his line mates are, if it is Frederick, if it's Clutter or
Clattenburg.
I mean, talk about just some beast that can get things going physically, at least. Yeah. I love it. And the price point's perfect. Local kid. You probably might even know him a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, mutual friends.
Yeah.
He there was that 2 week stretch we were calling him and Frederick the Bash Brothers. That lasted long. No, but to me with him, it's a solid deal. Again, like I'm not ready to plan the parade for a 2 year deal for a fourth liner, but what I like about it is that he's young and he could grow into something more, but at least you know what you have right now is a solid fourth liner that can like go in there. And like you're saying, Gager, like he'll play 8 minutes a game and you notice him when he's out there. He's not a ghost. And like I was saying on the hangout, like he's what I think a lot of us Oilers fans were wanting Trent Frederick to be. So it's like, well, if Colton Dach can step in and play that role, I feel like that dragged Frederick a little bit more into the fight. Now we'll see how Frederick is this year, but I thought Colton Dach was awesome when he stepped in and played a solid role. And especially, man, I think it's a benefit that they got him at the price they got him at his age, because if you look at the free agent market for fourth liners that play a very similar role, those were some interesting, I'll leave it at that, contracts with, AJ Greer getting a 4-year deal at 4.25, or I think his name is Jimmy VL. That was an Anaheim 6-year deal, 2.5. Those are ridiculous contracts for fourth liners that Colton Dach will provide a very, very similar role for a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the term. So
sometimes you need guys like that too to bring other guys into the fight.
Exactly.
Right. Like I think we were talking about it last year a little bit with Frederick, how he was supposed to play a physical brand, but who else was doing it?
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
So now that you have another guy that can play the same way, sometimes you need a partner in crime, so to speak.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that can happen if they are together, right? Like if they reunite the Bash brothers and you throw whoever you want at center there, like that could be a third line where it's like, oh, okay, you throw Dickinson there, and Dickinson can be scrappy at times. I think Dickinson laid out someone against Vegas late in the year last year, I think. Oh, it was he decked Shea Theodore behind the net randomly.
Oh, that was a massive
I
hit.
remember that. So, I mean, you could throw him there, or if you're looking at these guys as fourth liners, then Josh Szymanski or whoever's going to be your fourth line center can run in there as well. So, to me, this is a solid signing. I expected to get done. I expected around this type of term. And
let's face it. I mean, we should stop. Well, Oilers fans, don't refer to a fourth line, because if you want to win a cup, you have probably you can have a first line, a second line, but you have 3A and 3B.
Yeah.
You don't have a fourth, a typical fourth line. You have 2/3 that they're interchangeable, I would think.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and Penner's Pancakes makes a good point too. Yammer could play center as well.
Yep.
Like that's definitely, I could definitely see that happening, where if Szymanski maybe isn't like taking that fourth line spot and taking advantage of it, I could definitely see Yammer playing center. And Les Sweet, I'm wearing it because I'm just repping the brand. Trust me, there's no deal here for no rent.
Yeah, you're getting more of a discount here. Getting a couple bucks every minute you wear it on camera. No. Well, we always want to wear and rep our brand, right? And we're the biggest supporters of our own brand here. Reminder, EST Afternoons, Zach Kubusch, Joaquin Gage, Ben Thompson, the discussion surrounding Colton Dach, who inked a 2-year, $2.4 million contract extension, $1.2 million average. He'll be joining the Reed Wilkins Show at 3:05. The Oilers, over $4,700,000 left in cap space, inking up their 23-year-old RFA they got at the deadline. That was their first signing since July 6th. They also inked Owen Michaels to a 2-year extension, $900K cap hit. Spencer Stastny on the re-up, and Shakir Mukhamadullin as well. And of course, it goes back to Ryan Shea, who they inked on the day of free agency. Now, at this point, boys, where the lineup stands as it is today, is this a better Oilers roster than we saw at the start of 2025-26? Because I'm sitting here today and there's some question marks, I guess. For me, it's the biggest one around like the defense. Like what should we expect from a Shea, who had one really good year and inks his contract? Can Jake Wallman have a bounce back year, having to be propelled a little bit with Darnell Nurse being out, and Mukhamadullin? I believe in between the pipes, they're better to start the year with Frederik Andersen, who just gets a Stanley Cup ring and moves from Carolina to Edmonton on his 1-year deal. Some younger players who can get in the mix. Ike Howard still in the depths there as well. Matthew Savoy, who had a really good season, and a couple players coming back. Nearly the same forward group. Matthew Joseph also an addition there. Szymanski could take a step forward, and hopefully a Frederick bounce back, as well as Jari in that same breath. But where it is today, compared to the starting lineup of Game 1 in 2025-26, are the Oilers better off? Or is it easy to say just
one,
like that?
yes. Day one?
Day
yes.
one?
Trade deadline, that's up for discussion.
So the way you look at the lineup,
there's no David Tomaszek on your first line.
No. Yeah, you're not depending on a player from overseas.
Even though they have Ike Howard on that top line on that website.
There'd still be a move to make, right?
Yeah, well, maybe.
Stan Bowman said, they wanted to maybe bring in one more forward. That could potentially happen.
Hope they don't.
The way it is, their depth looks to be sorted out, but they do have cap room. This is the first time in a handful of seasons that they're not strapped right up against the cap to potentially make a move at the deadline. Mike Babcock might inject certain things, and they could maybe get to a better start than they have the last few years as well. But is it easy to say? Is it that black and white to be like, well, is this actually a better lineup? Because there is no Thomas.
I don't know. I think it's quite similar to last year. I would say it's slightly better for Game 1. I'll agree with you, Benny.
Yeah. Dickinson, Murphy.
Yeah, Tomaszek was good in preseason, right?
Yeah.
We're like, okay, well maybe it's a guy that does work out later on. Obviously, there were some injuries, and he got thrust into a position where he looked okay.
Yeah,
but the boot speed caught up to him after a while, I think, is what you saw.
For sure.
Right? Their forward group? It's good. I think there's some question marks with obviously new guys, but there's also with some old guys too. How are they going to perform?
Right.
My biggest question mark is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah.
What is he going to look like this year? Like he has to. I don't want to say a bounce back year, but I think there's a level that he needs to get to be and be consistent at it for this team to have success.
He needs to fight Father Time here,
and that's tough. Right?
Slow the decline.
So, and how do you? This is the job of a coach, and what will Babcock do with Nuge and put him in a position to have the best chance of success? Is that a top 6 role, or is that more of a
third line winger, help out depth scoring wise? I'd imagine, to me, I still think that he will play both special teams, PK and power play. To me, I don't think there's a chance that they break up that power play, despite its struggles at times last year. When that power play is fully healthy, he has a role on that power play. And then PK wise too, he's one of the more defensive sound guys on this team. So I have a hard time believing they would take him off any special teams, but 5-on-5 wise, yep, I could definitely see him being a third line winger for them this year. I don't like him at center personally. I think he's best at wing. So if you can go McDavid, Draisaitl, Dickinson, and you throw Nuge with Dickinson, I'm more than okay with that.
And he's a Swiss Army knife. You could count on him for offense. Last 2 years, 20 goals. Like we know that he can get on the board when he has to. And I second that as well, Benny. Like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, still with a few years left on his contract, year 6 of an 8-year deal at $5.125 million with the Oilers. He'll be 36 once that contract wraps up. He's still a very impactful player to have in your middle 6. Like you don't want to see him really go toward the top of the lineup, though. You could sift him in really at any point, and to be on that power play, he has that comfortability with McDavid and all the others to be that kind of bumper force. But yeah, that's the center depth, though. Like Dickinson, Hopkins, and Kapanen would be a good lineup as it stands. That's what Daily Faceoff has. As I'm sitting that right, that's a pretty solid third line as it sits right now. To see potentially how they deal things at the deadline, because I feel like there was last year a bit of pay that had to be made. Like it was a first round pick shipped out, and then another high end pick for Frederick, the the year before that. Like there's been picks shifted out, but the way that this team is going to approach their cap and the way that contracts are being signed now, like what sort of players that you can get and how they'll be valued is going to be interesting to me as well once the season gets rolling on with an 84-game schedule, which releases Thursday, by the way. The NHL releasing their schedule at 11 a.m. on Thursday. Of course, around the NHL, arbitration dates have been released. The hearings for players will start July 20th and end August 1st. It's listed on Sportsnet. Jamie Drysdale, the Flyers, and Cole Perfetti of the Jets on Monday to have player elected hearings. A couple players or one major player avoiding arbitration. Peyton Krebs inking an $18 million contract, carrying a cap hit of $4.5 million. A 25-year-old signing that with the Sabres early today as well. Your thoughts on the Oilers from the weekend, CFL, UFC, whatever you're thinking here right on EST Afternoons. Please get in touch. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox 780-218-9999. Play Alberta is always the presenting sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. It's EST Afternoons live from the William Huff studio here since 1952. William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. It's the second sports update break with Ben Thompson before we head to an ad break and come back here on EST Afternoons. Stay tuned.
Edmonton Oilers have locked up Colton Dach to a 2-year deal carrying a $1.2 million cap hit per season. Dach recorded 4 points in 8 games of the Oilers last year and also appeared in 5 playoff games. He'll join the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne later today at 3:05. Elsewhere around the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres have re-signed Peyton Krebs to a 4-year deal worth $4.5 million annually. And in Winnipeg, the Jets have signed 8th overall pick Viggo Bjork to his entry-level contract. Over in the UFC, Conor McGregor is set to undergo surgery following his first-round loss to Max Holloway at UFC 329. McGregor says he intends to return to the octagon in the future. And in tonight's sports action, Major League Baseball hosts the Home Run Derby in Philadelphia. Kyle Schwarber is slated to lead things off while the All-Star Game gets going tomorrow night. The sports update is brought to you by Capital Care. Enjoy an unforgettable dining experience right on the turf at Commonwealth Stadium. The Fest on the Field, August 19th, helps raise funds for programs, equipment, and enhancements for those across Capital Care communities. Buy your tickets now at capitalcarefoundation.net. More of EST Afternoons on the other side of the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Trent Frederick or Tristan Jarry, who's more likely to have a bounce back season?
I think Frederick would be a Babcock guy. I think the way that Babcock wants the game played, I think he'll gravitate towards Frederick. And on top of that, we've seen the Oilers management step out and say that Frederick was not used properly last year, which I disagree with. Bowman's gonna be talking to Babcock, hey, give this guy a shot here.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense. At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences. Plus, all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom. And from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
147 here on EST Afternoons. Still to come on the program, 2:20. We'll connect with JC Abbott from 3 Down Nation, CFL Week 6 recap to talk some Elks and to preview the Lions game upcoming Week 7 for the Edmonton Elks, who do host the Lions July 17th. That's a 7 o'clock start for the dog days of summer. There's some big finishes over the weekend. It was Winnipeg. Drew Brown leading the Bombers to a 30-21 victory over Toronto, improving to 3-2. Montreal got by Calgary 37-30, and Saskatchewan defeated Hamilton 38-7 to end Week 6 there in the CFL. We also have some noticias presented by the Edmonton Elks, and we have the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay coming up right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. So stay locked into EST Afternoons. Big things coming up on the Reed Wilkins Show at 3:05 today. It'll be Colton Dach, fresh off a contract extension with the Edmonton Oilers, joining us via phone. And Justin Rankin will also be joining the show at 4 o'clock, so stay tuned right here. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Hernan Salas had the duties on the morning show today, the Nielsen Show, hosting with Will Fraser and YouTube Trev producing that one. I'm stepping in from the producer area, hosting today alongside Joaquin Gage and Ben Thompson. We wrapped up some Oilers discussion, had some weekend recap, and now a segment I'd like to call Locked in Gage with Joaquin Gage. We got to only one question on Friday when I made my hosting debut on EST Afternoons. But Joaquin, yeah, I know. Well, because, hey, I try and ask the questions, but I'm talking in between the questions. Not getting enough of the answers. You know what I mean? And, okay, I'm going to try and keep this short, okay? Brevity, right?
What happened at school, Koob? So when did you put your hand up and then teachers just looked for someone else after a while?
Yeah. I think I put my hand up and I didn't I'm not a big public speaker. Like, this is a bit of a different platform. We got 138 viewers. Like, viewing on YouTube is so much different. If there was 138 people in front of me, I would probably be very timid. But in class, it'd be like, I talk to my teacher probably after the class or my buddies, and they'd be like, hey, man, like, you gotta get to the other class, dude. Can you stop talking? So yeah, that's the way it really
in front
works.
at the Estes. You're fine. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I killed it. Yeah. Well, I was shaking on the inside. You gave
a salute to Josh Clausen to the sky.
Yeah. I thought you killed him.
That was a throwback. That's what my instructor, Dave Sawchuk, would always do.
Oh, yeah.
He'd always just kiss his hand, look at the sky. No, nobody died, but it was a funny bit, so I had to bring it out for the Esties. Of course, the Esties, it's the Edmonton Sports Talk version of the ESPYs that happens every September. We've had 2 so far, third one to be coming up, but another big event coming up as well on Edmonton Sports Talk, July 25th, the Nasty Bash. All of the nasties, the viewers, listeners, and supporters of Edmonton Sports Talk will be connecting at the St. Albert Rugby Club. If you want to be a part of that, please email rsvp@edmontonsportstalk.com. And every single time you get into the nasty chat, please hit the thumbs up if you haven't already on the show. And every time Gager makes a meal, I hit the thumbs up. I give him the thumbs up. Maybe give him a fist bump too, because it's amazing every meal that you make. And, being a professional netminder, played for the Oilers, played overseas, experience all over the place in between the pipes. Now, one thing that I see from young NHL players today is, they have room and board, I guess, with some veterans, right? And when you're 17, I mean, me being 22, I can't cook, but when you're a younger player, you can't cook. When did you learn how to cook? Like what was that, a young thing for you? Did you get right into that, or were you eating minute rice and I don't know, canned tuna or whatever?
Let's see. Like, I think because my mom was a chef, right? And so she worked at a bunch of different places in Vancouver, and at times I had to chop stuff for her. Hated doing it. And then I guess when I got out on my own, I started just going, well, I got to make something to eat. I got tired of going out all the time. Like, it was weird. Like, I just thought, you just go out to eat all the time, and then you just get tired of it. So
it is work.
I think I went out and I bought a cookbook my first year pro, just to I'll try to make this, and I just started doing it that way. And of course, then I bought another cookbook, and that's how I did it. I just kept buying cookbooks. Actually, the Emeril Lagasse was my favorite guy, because he had there was some cooking shows, right, that you could see like that were on TV, but not like now. Like, there's like 8 channels where there's cooking shows. So then you started watching some of these guys, and like Iron Chef and Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and Bobby Flay, and all those other ones, right? So, and I guess I just I started doing it that way. My brother-in-law is a phenomenal chef. Like, it's crazy that we always say that he should have a food truck, because he's just amazing. But yeah, I find that now I don't think I could work in a restaurant. I don't think.
Right, because your son works in a kitchen, right?
He's at Joey's here in town. So saw him yesterday, and his whole chef garb came out, made me dessert.
Hands behind the back, thank you, sir.
Oh yeah.
Very polite.
It was good. It was good. But yeah, I guess as soon as I turned pro and I started living on my own.
Right on. Yeah, that's quite the thing, because today, like Trev and Reed were talking about how getting stats is so much different today. But you can search up a YouTube video or ask AI how to make a meal, and you could just do it like that. But having to get the cookbook and set your foot down, you sit down, read, and put the bookmark in, highlight where you like your favorite meals. What, if any, was there a meal that was your go-to that you made like every pregame, or you'd make once a week? Did you have one of those meals that you found that was your own and your favorite?
Well, it was just a pasta dish, but it was very simple, right? Just like tomatoes, onions, garlic, and then making a sauce, and then just tossing it with pasta.
Sounds like something you made here at the office.
Yeah, no, I made a pregame pasta, I think, the other day. But the one thing that I made that I really liked, I guess, that I thought was going to be very difficult, was chicken cordon bleu. Like, I thought, wow, that'll be tough to make. And but it's actually not. And then I remember I heard, who was it? It was a quarterback. I want to say it was like Peyton Manning or something. But he took he would take his offensive line out for dinner, right, at the beginning of the season or something like that, just to say, please protect me this year. And so my first year in Europe, I just invited all the D-men over, no forwards. And I was in Scotland, and Scotland, where I was, you walk down the street, there's a butcher on every corner, and everyone goes to their family butcher essentially. So I'm looking at cuts of meat, and I was like, God, that doesn't look great. And I go, hey, do you got something different? And he goes, trust me, kid, this will be the best meat you've ever tasted. I go, okay. So I got I think I got a bunch of tenderloins, and I did this kind of fancy crusted, what was it? Horseradish and blue cheese crusted tenderloins for my D-men. And the sauce took a day to make from the cookbook. It took over 2 days. So anyways, that's they took care of me. Let's just say that year. But that's those two things I remember. And then my wife at the time, I made one thing, like a pork loin thing, that she would go buy the ingredients and then just have it sitting out because she wanted me to make it.
She would know, and she would just kind of leave that there, and be like,
"Can you make that again?"
Please make it for me. You say you didn't like really. I guess after a while, getting out or going out for food gets old. I mean, can be expensive as well, and it's a very important lesson to know how to cook. One that I don't really understand fully myself. I'm still living rent-free at my parents' place.
It's hard
still
to learn when you don't have to,
is.
right?
Yeah,
you need to go, oh my gosh, I need to make something or else I'm going to die here.
Yeah, sometimes I look in the fridge and I'm like, okay, if my parents weren't here right now, what would I do with all these ingredients? But
I can see both you guys going, Mom, there's nothing to eat.
Well, there's a reason there's protein bars in the fridge. Benny has to live off something, some form of nourishment when he's hunkered down here at the EST studios, right?
Yeah, I'm actually editing a video right now. We Jay and I did a MTV crib tour, so
amazing.
So it's about to go up on our social medias here in a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's Jay made me a sign. It says Ben's room in the back studio. So this is it's actually it hasn't been bad. Like everyone's been like, why are you doing this? It actually I have everything except a shower. So I just go home and shower. And that's it. Like I have the whole.
I mean, depending on a storm, you could just go outside.
That's true. Bring my soap and conditioner and stuff out there.
Yeah, I got a free car wash doing that. For sure. I'm excited to see that video. I'll be checking that out probably during one of the commercial breaks here. Of course, on Instagram at Edmonton Sports Talk, also on Facebook and TikTok at Yeg Sports Talk on X. You can follow myself, Zach on air on X or Twitter, and Ben Thompson _17. Thompson with no P, so THOMSON.
Less sweet knows exactly. Bam! That's what Emerald Lagasse used to do. Like he'd grab this Emerald Essence and hit it and go bam. Nice.
Yeah, searching him up, man. He's I've seen the face before, so quite famous for sure.
I think he had famous restaurants in New Orleans, right? That's where it's kind of like Southern, his style. It was really good.
Nice. Well, I guess talking about going to different locations to eat and have food, for you being on the road, whether it was overseas traveling for a game or, you're here in North America, was there one restaurant that each time you made your visit in that city, in that town, that you would have to go and have a meal?
I hate to say it, but it was a chain. It was a steak chain restaurant that I like to go to, but I loved it. And the only reason I could afford it is because I was in the NHL at the time. But it's called Morton's Steakhouse, and I would get oysters Rockefeller, and then I'd get a Cajun ribeye, and then they have these Godiva chocolate cakes that you have to order them at the beginning because it takes 45 minutes to make, and they like it. You cut it and it oozes chocolate Godiva. I remember I went there, and Dan Cleary was my roommate at the time, and he wanted to stay in the hotel, and then we were eating, and I get a call from him. He's like at the hotel, Gager, can you bring me back one of those Godiva chocolates? So I had to order him the Godiva chocolate and bring it back for him. But it's cool because it's kind of like Ruth's Chris, where they bring out all the cuts of meat and you can choose which type you want. Now, I really wish my knowledge of different restaurants was better at the time. I mentioned Tommy Salo took me to Aquavit, which was Marcus Samuelsson. He's one of the top chefs in the world. Took me to his restaurant in New York, but I wish I would have kind of known different hole-in-the-wall restaurants to go to, and just, you see those places on TV or whatever, something's unique that they only make a certain way and stuff like that. But I guess there's always time.
No, there's always time to go around there. Yeah, you were saying That Morton's Steakhouse. Yeah. 1978. It was founded in Chicago. So looking at the menu, I'm going to start drooling on Mike here. So I'm going to stop checking that out for sure. Like that's quite the thing to do traveling. And I guess if you're in there for a game, it's sort of hard to, you're not in the city or town for a long enough time.
You're there the night before. Yeah. I don't know what guys do now. I think they have I'm sure guys go out for dinner. Like there were different groups that would go out. Obviously, the younger guys sometimes stick with the young guys. The older guys gravitate towards them, and maybe they have friends in town that they go see or whatever. I remember going out with, I stopped going out to dinner with Kelly Buckberger because he just knew everyone had per diem money and could order the most expensive bottle of wine on the menu. So we were drinking.
Too bougie.
Oh, it was terrible. I was going, how am I out of per diem? Why was that so expensive? It was because Bucky just ordered a $1,500 bottle of red wine.
Hey, hopefully you enjoyed it though. But one nasty chat to get to here. Les Sweet saying the first thing I learned to cook was KD back in the day.
Who doesn't?
I mean, that was the last meal I think I made. The only meal that I made in the last 3 months was KD and hot dogs. Quite literally at my house. So that's pretty funny there. Yes. Portions, by the way, of this hour presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. Make your afternoons better at the Canadian Brewhouse. Happy hour runs Monday to Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m. with deals starting at $3.99. So if you have per diem, you're not going to be breaking the bank. See you at the Canadian Brewhouse. We're about to dip into the the 2 o'clock break here on EST Afternoons. But remember to get in touch. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox 780-218-9999. Tap 25 restaurant. Prime rib special for just $18.99 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Available for dine-in and takeout. Not available on show nights. I'm Zachary Kubusch in the place of Hernan Salas, who's off today. He'll be back tomorrow for a regular edition of EST Afternoons 1 to 3 on Edmonton Sports Talk. Joaquin Gage alongside Ben Thompson, about to take us to break. Stay tuned on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. We're back with Hernan's Noticias.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Devon Leake, Elks running back, BC, Nathan Rourke.
We know what type of team they are, man, so we just got to play our best football. We know what to expect, man. They probably throw a few different things at us, but I feel like we could win anytime, so get back to the drawing board, not make the mistakes that we made last week, and, like I said, just execute. Take this week, take these next couple of days off, and reset, and, be sharp for next week.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon, 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Kickoff is coming. Are you in? July 17th, Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Plus, find activities for your dog around the stadium. Every catch, every tackle, every touchdown. The best way to experience it is being there when it happens. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year. Get your tickets now at goelks.com/tickets.
Get ready for another iconic evening of Canadian rock as the River Cree Resort and Casino presents Streetheart and Lee Aaron. On July 30th, get ready for a fist-pumping, anthem-filled show featuring two of the best acts to ever do it. Streetheart and Lee Aaron, July 30th at River Cree Resort and Casino. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
Looking for a delicious meal without the hassle? Head to Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park, your home of the game day meal. From handcrafted fresh pasta with rich homemade sauces to ready-to-heat family meals, Pasta Pantry brings authentic Italian flavor straight to your table. For over 30 years, Pasta Pantry has served hot, delicious comfort food made right in our kitchen. We do it fast so you can slow down. Visit Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park today and taste the difference fresh makes. Pasta Pantry, real food, real fast, real good.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. Had a good day? It's time for happy hour. Bad day? Oof, happy hour. Boss said great job? Happy hour. Boss said let's circle back? Ugh, definitely happy hour. Got a promotion? Happy hour. Spilled coffee on your shirt 5 minutes after getting dressed? Ugh, happy hour. So whether you're celebrating or recovering, our happy hour starts at just $3.99. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Edmonton Oilers have signed Colton Dach to a 2-year contract worth $1.2 million per season. Dach picked up 4 points in 8 games with Edmonton last year while adding 5 playoff appearances. He'll also join the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne this afternoon at 3:05. Around the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres have agreed to a 4-year deal with Peyton Krebs, carrying a $4.5 million AAV. And the Winnipeg Jets have also signed 8th overall pick Viggo Bjork to his entry-level contract. In the UFC, Conor McGregor will undergo surgery after suffering a first-round loss to Max Holloway at UFC 329. McGregor says he still plans to make a return to the cage. And in baseball, the Home Run Derby takes center stage tonight from Philadelphia. Phillies slugger Kyle Schwarber gets the event underway with the MLB All-Star Game set for tomorrow evening. Second hour of EST Afternoons with Zachary Kubusch filling in for Hernan Salas starts right now.
.07 here on EST Afternoons. It is Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta, live 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, we got additional programming, including the Commonwealth Stadium Green and Gold kickoff show and post-game show. The next program for the Green and Gold kickoff show, Matt Iwanek and Jay Milne will go Friday at 6 o'clock with the Elks in action against the Lions to try and avenge a Week 5 loss out in Kelowna. Elks 4-1, BC 1-3. And that is a very special event for the Edmonton Elks from Commonwealth Stadium. And right now we're going to dive into Hernan's Noticias, which is presented by the Edmonton Elks. The Edmonton Elks Dog Days of Summer, July 17th, presented by ADCO Energy. Lock in your tickets at goelks.com/tickets. I'm Zachary Kubusch in place of Hernan Salas. He'll be back on the program tomorrow. Benny Thompson, producer and former Oiler Joaquin Gage here with me today. It's a Dog Days of Summer, as I mentioned, on Friday here. So fans wishing to bring their dog must purchase a ticket in section M, the Zoomy Zone. Now, you got a dog. You got quite the large dog, Boone. Would you ever think about, bringing your dog down there to the field? Like,
yeah,
there's certain dogs that, he's very friendly. He's not a nervous kind of dog, but the Zoomy Zone is quite the title to have for.
Where is section
dog.
WW?
Section MM. Yeah. Hey, maybe a little bit of
Eminem?
Eminem? Yeah. maybe some dyslexia. No, just kidding. Commonwealth Stadium map. I don't know what side of the arena that is. I've definitely sat in section M here. But checking it out, it's hard to tell. Section
It's M.
Is that on the east side or west side, I think?
Yeah, it's in the sun.
Oh, right in the sun.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, they're only permitted in the section M zone.
So you probably can't walk around with them.
Too.
Yeah, I probably won't be, or is that? Yeah, no, that's too much
for
heat old Boonsters.
Nah, he's got a lot of hair on him.
I'm thinking because the recreation building, that's where that's on the other side, right? So yeah, section MM, right. You're going to get a lot of sun on that side, I think. And it's supposed to be plus 30 too. Right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a bit of a scorcher there. So yeah, permitted areas for dogs to be in the Zoomy Zone, dog relief areas as well. And there's certain pathways you got to enter in certain locations as well. But if you're interested in that, go
great
to
idea. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. That's what the first time they're having the Dog Days of Summer. I mean, I know the Riverhawks, they've had some events and promos that you could bring your dogs down to Remax Field, but it's always a fun day when you can bring any sort of your animal to to a sporting event. I mean, at our golf tournament, they were giving away Dog Days of Summer stickers. So I got one on my laptop here, which is pretty darn cool. Now I wonder what Maddie's doing. He just ran across the road big time. Like he completely waited for traffic. We're on such a weird area. What this is 107th Ave.
He obviously played Frogger as a kid.
Yeah. Well, he played it very well in his flip-flops too. Of course, the host of Green and Gold Kickoff Show, Matt Owanek. That goes Friday at 6 o'clock, but still some big things to get to today. 2:20 will be JC Abbott connecting with us here via the Oil Country Towing video hotline. And he'll join us to recap week 6 in the CFL. I just messed something up. I zoomed in too much here. There we go. I fixed it. But Squirrel into a parlay coming up 2:40 there as well. And a couple big guests on the Reed Wilkins Show. 3:05. It will be Colton Dach. He just signed a 2-year deal with the Oilers. That's 3:05. He'll be phoning into the Reed Wilkins Show. 4 o'clock. Justin Rankin to talk about another massive game that he had and a massive game for his squad going down on Friday. Other headlines, Peyton Krebs signing a 4-year deal, $4.5 million AAV with the Sabres. Arbitration dates released in the NHL. That'll start July 20th to August 1st. Jason Robertson headlining that. He, of course, denied a trade and sign deal that would have had him heading to Seattle to become a member of the Kraken. 8 years at $15 million AAV. NHL schedule releases on Thursday, 84 games. So Thursday, 11 a.m. Want to see who the Oilers play in their season opener and home opener. Stay tuned for that on Thursday. The Elks also practiced today and they made a signing as well. Transaction, American defensive lineman Carmine Bastone to the practice roster. He's 6'2", 300 pounds, spent 5 years college career at Northwestern University from 21 to 26, suited up in 39 games with the Wildcats. 23 years of age, had 68 total tackles, 34 solo, 9 tackles, 4 loss. So in addition to the Edmonton Elks there. And that's,
you said the arbitration hearings are coming up. When are they?
Yeah.
This
So
Friday?
July 20th on Monday is when they start,
That's all
according to Sportsnet. Now they're going to do it sort of in layers. They don't get them done all right away. So on July 20th, it'll be Jamie Drysdale and then Cole Perfetti there on the 20th. Of course, Zegras. There was 15 total. Now only 13 going to arbitration because Peyton Krebs reached a deal, and so did Xavier Bourgault.
When's Jason Robertson at?
Jason Robertson, he's scheduled for Saturday the 25th.
Okay. And then they decide on the 1st? Is that the deadline, or do they do it right away?
Let's see here. Through arbitration, 1 or 2 year contract.
I wonder what Robertson
doesn't say when they'll be announced. Yeah, that's a big thing here, too, because if he denied a $15 million deal and all these guys getting inked huge amounts, like Leo Carlson signings, and like every day by day, well, at least through free agency, like Evan Bouchard's contract even gets better with Bowen Byram getting the money that he did. Like the money's going up in the NHL, and it's going to be interesting to see how they approach that with a player who had 96 points last year for the Stars. We're a great team.
Well, you go to comparables though, right? You look at, and who does he compare to as a winger? I don't know what. Obviously, his agent will come in with a list, and then the team will come in and say why he doesn't deserve all this.
Yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, you were saying
Brian Marchment.
Who was it? Brian Marchment?
Yeah.
He sat down and said,
who would you compare Robertson to? I mean, do you compare him to Rantanen, the same player? Does he probably goes in and says, hey, I do the same as this guy, or more so. What did Rantanen end up with last year? He had...
In terms of...
Just points. So, I mean, he was injured, but...
Yeah.
I mean, Rantanen's he's had 2 seasons with over 100 points. He's had 50 once now. But, I mean, if you look at Robertson, I wonder who you would... I mean, yeah, 96 points last year, 80 the year before, 80, finished with 109 in 22-23. He's a pretty consistent I would say 40 goal scorer roughly over the past 6 years. So that is going to be, I'm fascinated to see where they land with him, because arbitration doesn't always work out for the player too, right? It sometimes benefits the team that are doing this. Usually what you'll see is teams kind of, you know what, it's not going to go our way. Let's try to get this done before we get to these hearings. And that's why you see a couple guys probably sign early. But I mean, it's been an interesting off season so far, but this one is really fascinating to me, because a lot of times they might sign him and trade him at that point too. So who knows?
Well, because you could totally get the deal done at really any point, even before they have this. But for Robertson, it'd be interesting to see if he just sticks it out, because denying a ship over to Seattle, where his head's at, where he wants to be, and kind of who he wants to play with, is very interesting. Because I mean, denying a trade inside, like, do you sit there and you're like, well, does that mean this team doesn't want me? Right? That's always a question that comes to mind, even with the Darnell Nurse discussion, that he was approached like, hey, waive your no movement clause, waive it so we can explore and see where potentially you can land. Now, he did end up being traded, but a player of this caliber is so sought after. Like, after that one explosive year that he had, he was seen as a superstar in 22-23, and then had a down year the year after and bounced back with another 35 goals. So dual 80-point seasons, but a playoff performer, almost a goal per game in 6 games for the Stars. That's gonna be an interesting one to keep tabs on, like the arbitration and being an RFA, just how that works. And they
only have 10 million and just under 11 million in cap space too, so they're kind of stuck with what they can do.
So do they say like, hey man, like, I don't know, we'll get it done, like, oh, we'll give you bonuses or something like that, or hey, okay, just a 1-year deal, we revisit this once again?
Yeah, I mean,
like, it feels like more players.
There's
quite a few going to arbitration.
He's 26. He's still quite young, but he's probably looking to. He made over 7 last year.
Yeah, he was off a 4-year contract, right?
I believe so.
I believe it was. So, I mean, kind of a bridge deal there for him. Yeah, 4 years, 31, 7.75. The RFA continues to be there. Another few big names going to arbitration. Trevor Zegras. So it's Drysdale and Zegras for the Flyers. Cole Perfetti, as I mentioned. Jet Greaves of the Blue Jackets, who's been quite the impressive goaltender. Every time he's been in, and I've seen him in action, I've really liked his game, so promising player there. Borgo signing with the Senators. Of course, Robertson and Connor McMichael, Sillinger. Nick Robertson for Pittsburgh. Braden Schneider. And Kirby Dach as well from the Canadiens. He'll have an arbitration hearing later on. Akira Schmid for the Panthers to close things out August 1st. And Krebs was listed Saturday, August 1st to go to arbitration, but has signed a 4-year, $4.5 million deal in Buffalo. Some exciting things in the NHL. On Thursday, they'll release their 84-game schedule for the upcoming 26-27 season. So 13 players total heading to arbitration there in the NHL. And it was Viggo Bork earlier, who was a high draft pick this year of the Jets, getting a contract there as well, signing his entry-level deal. Oh, and hey, there we go. It looks like Braden Schneider for the Rangers inked a 1-year deal. So no arbitration there for him. Age 24, $5.5 million cap hit. Viggo Bork also signing his entry-level deal, and Peyton Krebs are the 3 signings today in the NHL. Of course, for the Oilers this weekend, they signed Colton Dach. He's joining the Reed Wilkins Show at 3:05. Stay tuned for that. Justin Rankin will also be connecting at 4 o'clock during the Reed Wilkins Show, but here on EST Afternoons, we'll take a brief pause before connecting with J.C. Abbott. And a reminder that Edmonton Sports Talk is always presented by Play Alberta. Stay locked. Stay tuned into EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubusch. Joaquin Gage with Ben Thompson having the sports update before we head to break.
The Edmonton Oilers have re-signed forward Colton Dach to a 2-year contract with an average annual value of $1.2 million. Dach registered 4 points in 8 games with the Oilers last season and suited up in 5 playoff contests. He'll also join the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Millen this afternoon at 3:05. Elsewhere in the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres have signed Peyton Krebs to a 4-year contract worth $4.5 million per season, while the Winnipeg Jets have inked their 8th overall pick Viggo Bjork to his entry-level deal. One more signing around the NHL that avoids arbitration. Braden Schneider over in New York with the Rangers signed a 1-year deal worth $5.5 million AAV. At UFC 329, Conor McGregor is expected to undergo surgery following his first-round loss to Max Holloway. Despite the setback, McGregor says he plans to return to the octagon. And on the diamond tonight, baseball's biggest sluggers take center stage for the Home Run Derby in Philadelphia. Phillies star Kyle Schwarber will bat first with the MLB All-Star Game set for tomorrow night. More EST Afternoons with JC Abbott on the other side of the break. I'm Ben Thompson. You're up to date.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation with options for every style and budget. Open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Get ready for another iconic evening of Canadian rock as the River Cree Resort and Casino presents Streetheart and Lee Aaron. On July 30th, get ready for a fist-pumping, anthem-filled show featuring 2 of the best acts to ever do it. Streetheart and Lee Aaron, July 30th at River Cree Resort and Casino. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Return here on EST Afternoons. It's 2:24 from the west side of Edmonton. Hernan Salas has a day off, at least in this fine program, 1 to 3 on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. I'm Zachary Kubusch with Joaquin Gage and Ben Thompson, and we're about to dip into the Oil Country Towing Video Hotline, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team. Fast, safe, reliable for over 15 years. Whether it's a game day or a snowstorm, we work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. And connecting now on the Oil Country Towing Video Hotline is JC Abbott from 3 Down Nation to talk all things Week 6 CFL. Today, JC, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
For sure. And an exciting finish, week 6. I mean, absolute explosion from the Riders there. The Elks picking up a 40-17 victory against the Red Blacks. Drew Brown back for Winnipeg. But I do want to start here in Edmonton with the Double E. They're 4-1. And we're able to get that victory there against the Red Blacks. Now, quite the bounce back from week 5 in Kelowna. What did you see from the Elks last week against the Red Blacks?
Well, they got back to playing the type of football that they can win with, right? And that starts with a dominating defense. I thought they were fantastic against a struggling Red Blacks offense. That includes protecting the football on offense, right? Cody Fajardo didn't throw any picks in that game. That's a huge improvement from what he showed against BC. And then it comes down to running the football. And Justin Rankin was spectacular in that game. 3 touchdowns, continued to prove why he should be, I think, the front runner for MOP at this point in the season. But also Javon Leake was involved heavily in the offensive game plan, and he looked just about as good as Rankin did in his limited touches. So when you can have that game plan as the Edmonton Elks, you will win more football games than you'll lose by a significant margin, right? That is their formula for success. That's why they've turned this franchise around, and they were able to get back to it against Ottawa.
JC, at times watching that game, it felt like, if you look back last year, even 2 years ago, it seemed like the two teams just traded jerseys, right? The Red Blacks looked like they were just trying to hang on, and the Elks somehow just playing with their food a little bit at times. Like I don't want to take anything away from them, but in no point did I think that the game was in jeopardy. Now comes a bit more of a firmer test this Friday against the Lions. For a team that, in Kelowna didn't have their A game, but then had a pretty dominating performance. How do you think that stacks up this Friday when they go up against the Lions?
Well, I think they've got all the game film they need to find out what not to do, right? Because that performance in Kelowna was the exact example of the type of football that they can't play if they are going to be victorious, right? And the Elks are a great team. I don't want to dismiss that. I think they're full value for this turnaround, but they don't necessarily have the margin of error of some other franchises. They're not the Montreal Alouettes, where if you get behind and you're losing by a ton, well, Davis Alexander can just go out there, make something crazy happen, and gun it downfield to Tyson Philpott, who's going to put up 200 yards receiving. Like, that is not how this team is built. They have to be consistent all game long. They have to be able to stick to the ground game, and they have to not put too much pressure on Cody Fajardo, who I have a lot of respect for as a winner. But if we're going to do the accounting of, who are the best quarterbacks in the CFL 1 through 9, he's probably 7 or 8 on most people's rankings. And that's not to say he's not a competent starter. He's just not going to be a guy who's going to win most football games for you single-handedly. So you can't make those mistakes. And if you can correct the mistakes you made the first time around in Kelowna, I think there are still vulnerabilities on this Lions team that you can exploit. And it's a lot easier to do so when you have the apples-to-apples film of having played them just 2 weeks ago.
Now, there are 3 4-1 teams in the CFL, and you mentioned Alexander, who's somebody who can just turn it up and take the game for his team. Tough finish for the Ticats there against the Riders. But out of those 3 teams, is there one that stands out above the rest that is leading the charge here in the CFL?
I think you could make an argument that any of those 3 are the best. I've personally got Montreal at the top of my rankings just because I think they are the most explosive right now. And I think Davis Alexander is playing the best at the quarterback position currently. And ultimately, so many games in the CFL come down to who has the better quarterback. And so many seasons come down to who has the best quarterback. He is playing as good as anybody right now. I think he's a budding superstar in this league. And so long as he stays healthy, Montreal will be a tough out. Saskatchewan has played well, but Trevor Harris has cooled off a little bit the last couple of weeks. They needed their defense really to secure that blowout against Hamilton. And then Edmonton just needs a lot more things to go right in order for them to get those victories. But in a one-off matchup, I think their defense may be the strongest of those three, or at least the most consistent with some of the additions they've made and how they've grown in year two under JC Sherritt. So they're really well positioned.
JC Abbott joins us from 3 Down Nation. JC, watching we actually have it on right now, but the Ticats and Rough Riders game, it just seemed like they couldn't get it done at the quarterback position. We saw just where do they go from here? Is there another replacement, or they try to find something with what they have?
Yeah, I don't know where the Ticats will go. In my mind, you can't go back to the Jake Delagallo well. I don't know that Scott Milankovich feels the same way, but they had every opportunity to win that game, despite how lopsided the score ended up being. Saskatchewan did not play well offensively. The Hamilton defense kept them in it right until that fourth quarter. And frankly, Delagallo just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, right? He was inaccurate consistently. He was not connecting with his receivers. And when you look at the final accounting, well, he has 122 yards passing. He threw a 107-yard pick six. Yeah. That means that he had net 15 yards passing. That's not good enough in the Canadian Football League. I personally would turn to Trey Ford for all the struggles that he's had and the problems that we've talked about on this show. At the very least, you can bottle that chaos and hopefully get a spark at the right moment. We've seen it happen in the past. I just don't think Jake Delagallo has that capacity. And I don't think you have it in a guy like Jarrett Daggy either, or potentially even Harrison Frost, who I know they're in the process of trying to bring back from the UFL. Those are just not compelling quarterback options to me. You take the guy with the highest upside, even if his downside may be significant, and you just hope that you can flash enough times that it keeps you in the playoff hunt. Because if you get quarterback performances like you got this week, you may not win another game.
And another quarterback question, at least that I have, the only winless team in the CFL, the Ottawa Red Blacks. Now, is there a site that you see that they go to McLeod Bethel Thompson there, or what would you do in the quarterback situation out in Ottawa?
I think there's the potential for them to go to McLeod Bethel Thompson because he has such a strong relationship with Ryan Dinwiddie. I mean, these are a couple of guys who won Grey Cups together in Toronto. I think they match each other's personalities very well in terms of the fire and the passion that they play with. Jake Mayer is a much more subdued guy. I think as things get tougher in Ottawa, that sort of disconnect between him and the fiery Ryan Dinwiddie is going to become more apparent. But personally, I don't see any potential positives from going to McLeod Bethel Thompson. And with all due respect to what he's accomplished in his CFL career, which is significant, he's 38 years old. And when he played for the Montreal Alouettes last year, he looked terrible, right? Like, he was not a winning quarterback. I thought his arm was, it looked shot, and maybe he can have a bounce back. Stranger things have happened, but I don't think he's going to give you a better opportunity to win right now than Jake Mayer, as tough as it's been to win in Ottawa anyway. And he doesn't give you anything for the future because he's not going to be your starting quarterback in 2027. So in my opinion, you ride with Jake Mayer until it's a lost season officially. And then you look at Bryson Barnes, who's their third stringer and a rookie right now. You bring in a guy off the neg list. You try and figure out who's going to be that guy for the future, because you're going to have to find one. And you don't know what might be available in the free agent market or the trade market in the offseason. McLeod Bethel Thompson is not going to save this franchise. He's not going to save them right now. He's not going to save them in the future with the attendance draining out the door because of how they've performed over the last number of years. So to me, there is absolutely no advantage to putting him on the field.
JC, where's the best place to find a quarterback, though? Obviously, it'd be to a team's benefit if they can find a Canadian, but where does the next the next best CFL quarterback come from?
I think that's a complicated question, and it's one that teams are going to have to grapple with over the next few years because it's changing, right? The marketplace that we once had for quarterbacks in the CFL, those small school guys who maybe the NFL was overlooking, well, they're a completely different animal now because of the transfer portal at NIL. Those guys are transferring up. They're becoming starters and getting on the radar for NFL teams, or they're dropping off the radar because they're transferring up and getting stuck in backup situations. And then you're not seeing them play for the last couple of years of their college careers. So you really have to be on these guys early and monitoring their success and seeing traits that they might exhibit as a sophomore in the FCS that you think can then blossom later on, even if they haven't had the starts. And even so, it's going to be harder to bring those guys in because they're making money, right? And the CFL has always been able to sell itself as a league of opportunity. I think that remains the case, but it's a lot harder to say, hey, come up here and make 70 grand Canadian when they've been cashing paychecks south of the border. And some of these backup quarterbacks, I mean, Ottawa had a guy in training camp, Zach Calzada, who did not make the roster, who was a backup quarterback his senior year at Kentucky and earned allegedly $1 million in NIL. Like, how are you selling that guy on the CFL as an opportunity when a lot of quarterbacks are pretty smart guys and may have opportunities outside of the sport or opportunities in coaching as a graduate assistant, depending on how they've built the relationships in college? It's going to be a lot tougher to find those guys. So as good as the quarterback play has been in the CFL this season, and that's been a huge storyline in terms of this offensive explosion, I think a lot of teams are wondering how we're going to find the next guy. Because if you look deep on the depth charts, there's a lot less development happening. There's a lot more recycling of those second and third stringers than we've seen in the past. And it's going to be a lot tougher to find the protégés.
Right on, JC. Thank you so much for your great insight into CFL and all things football. We appreciate your time today. And just actually one last question. Where can people find your work on 3 Down Nation and elsewhere?
Yeah, 3downnation.com. You can find us at the website or on all social media. I'm active on X at the JC Abbott. You can find all my stuff there as well. And we got new stuff on the site every single day. So make sure you're checking back multiple times per day. Most days in season, we're getting up at least 6, 7, sometimes 13 articles, depending on how heavy the news day is. So there's always something new.
Anything CFL, I always go to 3 Down Nation. So thank you so much, JC, for the time. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Cheers. That was JC Abbott, 3 Down Nation, with so much to discuss, some awesome insight into all things football. That is a huge question, though, because a lot of the star players, at least quarterbacks, from my perspective in the CFL, are a lot of older vets. You think of Trevor Harris and you think of Bo Levi Mitchell there in Hamilton, who suffered an injury. There's a lot of things in the future, like 3 or 4 years, like what are things going to look like in the CFL, the emergence of Davis Alexander. So that's quite the interesting question, Joaquin. That's a professional question.
It's tough because you want, the Lions with Rourke have a huge advantage by having a Canadian at quarterback, right? So I've always wondered how you entice, like you talk to guys coming up from the States, and not everyone, they've heard of the CFL, but it's not so widely known. I saw a bunch of notes that people were watching the CFL on CBS Sports this weekend. So, the more eyeballs you get on it, I think is great. And you're never going to take the desire to be the man or to win championships, to be part of a team, like a player, especially a quarterback. You're such an integral piece of that puzzle. And to get those reps, to be a starting quarterback, maybe you're not Tom Brady making those types of dollars, but I just think it would be nice to see a little bit more competition, I think, instead of what JC said, just a little bit too much revolving and recycling some of the same names that we've seen in the CFL. Some fresh blood at quarterback. And it's already a great quarterback class, don't get me wrong, but I'd like to see even more.
I definitely agree there, Joaquin. There's a certain player and a person that, you know, the CFL can kind of grab you if you want to be sort of in the community. Like when I think of the CFL, I go to the tailgate here in Edmonton for the Elks. It's just amazing to see how many people show up, and, you know, there's former players who take part in their community. There's a certain sort of person that you would need to love the game of football so much to take it over really that $1 million or whatever amount that you would get as maybe a third or fourth string elsewhere. Like just that desire, that itch to hit the field and be that guy at the level in the CFL. It's going to be something to keep tabs on over the next few years for sure. So it is 2:41. We have one more segment to go here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage. I'm Zachary Kubusch. Ben Thompson with the sports update momentarily. If you have any thoughts from what JC Abbott had to say, or what's on for the remainder of your day, everything going on, as well as the home run derby at 6 o'clock tonight in the majors. Please get in touch. River Crew Resort and Casino inbox 780-218-9999. Happy hour 525 drinks, all beers including bottle and draft, import and domestic, select premium well highballs and select premium wine served at Tap 25, Center Bar, Onyx, and on the casino floor. Available Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's Ben Thompson with the sports update before we head into the final segment here on EST Afternoons.
Edmonton Oilers have signed Colton Dach to a 2-year extension worth $1.2 million annually. Dach totaled 4 points in 8 regular season games with Edmonton last year before skating in 5 playoff games. He'll also be a guest on the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne this afternoon at 3:05. Around the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres have reached a 4-year agreement with Peyton Krebs, carrying a $4.5 million cap hit per season. Meanwhile, the Winnipeg Jets have signed 8th overall pick Viggo Bjork to his entry-level contract. And in New York, the Rangers settle with Braden Schneider on a 1-year deal worth $5.5 million. Following UFC 329, Conor McGregor has announced he'll undergo surgery after his first-round loss to Max Holloway. McGregor says he plans to resume his fighting career once he's recovered. And tonight in Major League Baseball, the Home Run Derby takes over Philadelphia as Kyle Schwarber leads off the festivities. The MLB All-Star Game follows tomorrow night. Final segment of EST Afternoons coming up after the break. I'm Ben Thompson. You're up to date.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Tonight on Will It Store, 1 man, 6 bikes, and all the winter decorations still boxed up in the garage. Don't be that guy. Make space for summer with Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
It's the weekend. The sun is out, and everyone, yes, even the kids, are bored. Bring them to the Canadian Brew House. Our patios have games to keep the whole family going. Rooftop views, real turf to run around on, and misters for when the summer gets serious. Oh, and we've still got the game on. Always. All day, all weekend, all summer. The Canadian Brew House. Canada's best patios.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Segment here on EST Afternoons. It is 2:46 from the west side of Alberta's capital city, E-Town. It's Edmonton, and I'm Zachary, Kubusch, Joaquin Gage just getting back from the break as well. Ben Thompson having the sports updates throughout the entire program. It is the Reed Wilkins Show coming up at 3 o'clock to take you home until 6 o'clock, wrapping up the day on Edmonton Sports Talk with an absolute banger. Fresh off a 2-year contract extension with the Oilers, it'll be Colton Dach checking in at 3:05. So stay tuned for that. Justin Rankin at 4 o'clock. Elks running back, a hat trick of touchdowns in the most previous game against the Red Blacks. They're 3-1. Friday action. They're against the Lions. The future is bright, and so is the future in the NHL. The next generation of NHL stars is coming back to Alberta this summer. Tickets go on sale for the 2026 Hlinka Gretzky Cup in Edmonton. Visit hlinkagretzkycup.ca and click on tickets to get a seat for a first-hand look at the future of hockey. We usually shut things down with the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay here. Just a reminder of the action upcoming 6 o'clock, the home run derby in the MLB. And tomorrow, World Cup action resumes. Just 4 matches left. It'll be France and Spain in action tomorrow, right at 1 o'clock at the start of EST Afternoons, with Hernan Salas making his return to the program. And Wednesday, England and Argentina will be in action there as well. Now, boys, I'm curious, did we want to get to the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay right now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. That's what they say.
Let's do it, no delay.
I don't know.
Let's take a risk today. No sense being safe. We need a huge payday.
Edmonton Sports Talk's presenting sponsor is Play Alberta, and for Inside the Numbers, they're also presenting the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay. Don't forget, when you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. If you gamble, use your game sense. Currently, 4 plays are up on the EST specials page. Go to playalberta.ca/EST. Our special bets, the early bird bet of the day, Bryce Harper to win the home run derby. France versus Spain, both teams to score. Argentina to qualify. That's plus 2,600. The lock shop partner parlay, France to qualify, both teams to score. England to qualify as well, plus 820. And Jay's play of the day coming up as well. Later on the Reed Wilkins Show, but we got one to make here today, boys. It's no Jays in action today. Of course, the MLB All-Star break. So not much going on there. The NBA Summer League is active as well. CFL lines are up for the week.
Let's just go.
I'm trying to think. What are we doing today? Do we go on already?
This way too hard.
This is way too difficult. Okay, yeah. World Cup football or CFL? Okay. Well, we could bet the early lines. Come on. I mean, we could.
Okay, Mbappe goal.
There you go.
Anytime goal.
Now let's see here. Can we bet player markets right now currently? I don't know if we have to wait to put that bet up until tomorrow.
We
can do it. There we go. Yeah. Player markets, anytime goal. That's plus 113. And now, I'm going to have a special outfit for today. You didn't like my Scarface basketball penny, but you'll just have to wait and see what I'm rocking tomorrow. It'll make sense with this pick. I'm going France on the money line, okay? Okay, you bet it. Yeah, you bet it. You take that one. You take that one.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so. I'm going to be nice to you because you're
Thank you.
producing the show and
Thank
did
you.
such a great job with your sports updates.
Thank you.
I'm checking early lines here for the Elks hosting the BC Lions for the Dog Days of Summer on Friday, 7 o'clock, Commonwealth Stadium. I'm going to go with the Edmonton Elks on the spread at -3. So
this is gonna be a played out bet.
This is a play out bet.
A full week long bet.
Wow.
That's what I'm feeling. I like having those bets. It keeps you on the edge if the first couple legs.
Yeah, we'll know if it's still live.
Yeah,
right?
we'll know next week.
Yeah.
True. We will know next week. Well, they are kicking off week 7 in the CFL. So it's an Mbappe anytime goal for tomorrow. France, 1 o'clock against Spain, and then France on the money line to wrap it up for the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay there for Play Alberta. And one thing that Hernan Salas usually does when he's in the big chair is on this day. Now, there's a few that I took out. On this day in 2025, that's last year, don't you know? Yannick Sinner beat Carlos Alcaraz in Wimbledon. All the way back in 1956, RCA released Elvis's single, Hound Dog. Almost didn't know what to say there.
You ain't nothing but.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. That's a good song. Does anybody dislike Elvis? Let's be honest.
I do.
Really?
I don't like Elvis.
What? Any reason?
Just didn't like the music.
Oh, you just didn't like his music.
And when I was a kid, his cheesy movies were on Saturday, and I thought they were a waste of time.
Okay,
But
that
did you
stacks
know?
up. Yeah.
Did you see who passed away today?
No.
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill.
You know who Sam Neill is?
Sam Neill. The name.
Oh, the New Zealand actor.
Yeah.
Oh,
But Jurassic Park actor.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Yeah.
it's too bad. Yeah.
Sucks.
Now, do you
One
have
of
a
the scariest movies I ever saw he was in called
Possession?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon? 1997 Event Horizon.
Terrible.
Horror sci-fi.
Yeah.
Interesting. That one might be one to go on the list. He was also in Peaky Blinders in all the Jurassic Park movies, it looks like. Bicentennial Man, Untamed appearances. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks,
rest in
man.
peace. No, he how old was he? 78. Passing in Australia. So yeah, rest in peace there to Sam Neill. But yeah, I remember the Jurassic Park movies for sure. I was playing a little bit of a YouTube game yesterday, I guess you can call it. It's where they have 100 movies, but they only have the still frame.
Oh,
so
those are
you had to
good.
guess it. It was just a cup of water shaking. And I was like, is that Inception? Or which one is that? And it was Jurassic Park. One of the most iconic scenes from that movie where
There was a guy on TikTok that
in.
did a bunch, and it was fun. I got a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I felt like a genius.
I do that with songs. Like they'll play 0.5 seconds of a song, and I know it.
Oh, just the beginning of it?
No, like at any point. I'm that way with Drake songs. I can rattle them.
You get that for sure. You get Drake at any point.
Psychopath.
Yeah. What an absolute psychopath. Reminder though, Thursday, NHL schedule releases at 11 o'clock. The arbitration dates for the NHL have been revealed. So it'll start July 20th, which is next Monday, and go through August 1st for 12 players getting some hearings. One of the RFAs being inked today, Braden Schneider, out in New York for the Rangers at $5.5 million. The Elks started practicing today. They play host to BC on Friday. And then that's kicking off week 7 o'clock. And then they'll take Saskatchewan off of the bye before rematching them week 9 as well. So they'll go on the road to Mosaic Stadium for week 8 and then come back to host the Riders in week 9. 3 teams 4-1 in the CFL. Now at this point, entering the season because of the last few years for the Elks, I didn't suspect a start as they've had this year. So it's really nice to see. Hopefully on Friday with it said to be a scorcher, Dog Days of Summer, people can get out to Commonwealth Stadium and support the Double E. More Double E discussion coming up on the Reed Wilkins Show. We're just shutting things down here on EST Afternoons. It's Justin Rankin at 4 o'clock right here on any of Edmonton Sports Talk, either on YouTube, iHeart, TuneIn, or after the fact on fact, on podcasts, Apple or Spotify. And Colton Dach in about 10 minutes. So stay tuned on Edmonton Sports Talk. On behalf of Ben Thompson, our producer, Joaquin Gage here, I'm Zachary Kubusch. Hernan Salas will be back in the hosting chair tomorrow on EST Afternoons 1 to 3. Thank you for tuning in and have a good one. Cheers.